Trail runners, welcome back to Chasing Gold Black Canyon edition. We are back in Arizona for this one, talking to the front runners coming to the Black Canyon 100K, trying to get one of those two coveted golden tickets into the Western States Endurance Run. Today on the show, we have Mr. Eric Senseman. Eric runs with Rabbit, Hoka, and Goo. He has won the JFK 50 mile. He's also got a third there. He's got a golden ticket at Black Canyon and also a third place. Eric, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Scott. Good to be here.
Absolutely. Cool, man. Let's talk some training. You've got a golden ticket at Black Canyon back in 2021 after multiple attempts, so you know the course. You are Flagstaff based, I believe. Is that correct?
That is right. Yep. We're here from Flagstaff today.
Cool. Talk to us about what you know about the course from your many runnings on it and how you are preparing for this year's Black Canyon 100K.
Yeah, it's I've run on the course a lot, and I've trained on the course a lot. Coming down from Flagstaff in the winter is necessary at times, so the Black Canyon Trail is a good fix. Yeah, so this will actually be my fifth start. I know, hard to believe. I didn't finish 1 year, and 2 of the 3 years I've run it, it was an altered course because of conditions, rain, river crossings. But yeah, I've actually got 2 golden tickets at Black Canyon.
Holy mackerel, I didn't know that. 2 golden tickets. He's coming for a third.
Yeah, 2019 and 2021. So yeah, the 3 times I've finished third twice, and I've been second once. So I think that speaks to my ability to prepare for the race and my ability to execute a good race on that course, which is easier said than done. So yeah, more of the same, pretty similar stuff in terms of getting ready this year, but was able to put in the work that I thought I needed, and excited for race day.
Nice. And walk me through, what does a typical week look like? I know obviously if we look back through the last 4 or 6 weeks, you're probably doing a lot of longer stuff, but can you kind of give us a general overview of, say, the last 3 or 4 months? What have you been doing in terms of volume, in terms of workouts, and where you're at now?
Yeah, going back, probably as far back as August. I was running about 60 to 70 miles a week for 12 weeks. Took a down week and then kind of started this block. This block I got up to 105 miles in a week. Had quite a few weeks between 90 and 105. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you need to do. I think the secret though is, well, it's not a secret, but what's pivotal, what's important is how you get those miles. Because, marathoners run higher mileage than that oftentimes. So I did quite a few blocks, 3 days with 60 to 70 miles, a lot of runs on course. So yeah, more or less that's how it looked.
Cool. And is that pretty much on par with the years that you were getting those 2 golden tickets here?
Yeah, probably higher mileage. Actually, in 2021, I was between 80 and 90 miles for like 8 weeks. You know how it goes. Like you coach, you've prepared for this race and plenty of others, but it's never the same. And so you have to recognize what's different and be willing to trust that you know what to do, but you can't just replicate the same thing every time. So this was
100%.
definitely a little bit different. Like my longest run was 24 miles,
Sure.
which is for 100K on the shorter end for sure. But yeah, you got to be willing to change things up, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Every training block always looks different. And I think that comes with experience, right? You kind of know, all right, I need to focus on this or that. Someone of your caliber, you know the course, you know what you need to do to have your best day. And that's why you're on this show, because you're chasing gold, buddy. Cool. Talk to us about the race day strategy. Obviously, I don't want you to give out any of your top secrets here with all these golden tickets you've accrued.
Yeah.
But and obviously you've had some out and back years, which who knows, it could be one this year depending on how that river is flowing. What is your strategy come race day? What's in the bottles? How are you fueling? What are you running the lead pack? Are you someone that tries to negative split? How does that all look?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to have success on this course, and we've seen those different approaches over the years, from people, winning the race after being outside the top 3 or top 5 at halfway, to people running off the front and leading the whole time. So there's a lot of ways to do it. And, it's dependent again on a lot of things, just like the training blocks, the field, how you're feeling on the day, et cetera. But I think what I'm good at is knowing how much I can push, how early on. I'm very good at being uncomfortable late in a race, especially in the second half, and that's definitely a skill set that is you earn and is difficult to come by without putting yourself through a lot of discomfort over the years. So yeah, I just try to monitor myself. I don't worry about the field. Sometimes that's meant I'm at the front of the race. Sometimes that's meant I'm further back. I try not to worry too much about that. And then fueling, call it an 8-hour race. I'm pretty well tuned with that race duration. But yeah, it's all goo products for a race like Black Canyon. A lot of liquid calories, but just trying to stay topped off and not hit any low points due to nutrition anyways. So
Sure. And what about, are you trying to do any supplemental heat training being in Flagstaff if this could be a hot year, could be, could not?
Right. Yeah, that's always a question with this race. I haven't done anything specific. I was thinking about that today, Scott, about popping over to the athletic Flagstaff Athletic
Sure.
FAC. Yeah, I don't know what the C stands for right now for some reason. I might do a bit of sauna work. But we're lucky here in Arizona this time of year. We're like, Flagstaff's cold, but you go down and run on the course, or you run in Sedona or the Canyon or Phoenix, and you get some warmth. So,
Sure. Let's talk about last year. Obviously, you're having a lot of success trail running, right? I mean, you've won some really big events, had some top placing in big events. Last year, I look at just ultra sign up. I see you had the Fat Ass in Sedona, which I know is a fun one that people come to on April 1st. And then you had Cocodona, which was definitely probably outside your normal comfort zone. So cool that you did that. How did that experience go? Is there any takeaways from something like that can be helpful for upcoming races?
Yeah, it was a heck of an experience. An interesting one in terms of how it translates. I mean, certainly in no real way in terms of like racing, right? But I think the big takeaways were maybe two. And one is it allowed me to train hard again for a race like Black Canyon. It was, I've been running ultra since 2011. I've been doing this a long time, and I think I was just I was over it a bit.
Sure.
It was just like the same sort of thing again and again and again. So it was just fun to do something different. And I think that change in perspective and mindset and doing things a little bit differently for a bit allowed me to go back to this and kind of appreciate it and be like, oh, it's not so bad that your longest run only has to be 4 hours. And then secondly, I think like anything, well, I shouldn't say like anything. I think in the sport of ultra running, it can be good to go like over distance in a sense. Like it makes the shorter distances feel a bit more manageable. So I think there's some of that as well from having done Cocodona.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you say 2011 being in this sport. We're going to get to a question in our fartlek round. It's going to ask how long you've been in this sport, and I'm interviewing a lot of people with 2019 as their first ultra, 2018. So it's great to have a veteran on the show. I'll be rooting for you on race day.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, so what things? All right, Black Canyon, it's going to be the day before or the gun's about to go off. Are there things that you personally need to do to be successful? I know when I am racing, I break the race into thirds, and I just say, what do I have to do in the first third so I'm successful in the last third? And then when I'm in that second third, I'm saying, what do I have to do in this second third of the race so I can be successful in the third third of the race? And I know personally what I need to focus on. Do you approach races that way? And if so, what are those things that you personally need to focus on so you run your best race?
Yeah, I think some of it's difficult to describe because, like in your case, that example you gave, I think what that really means is you need to measure your effort such that later in the race you're going to have success, and that's really what it's about. And that's a difficult thing to describe, and it's a difficult thing to really do well for anyone over a long period of time because it's always changing. What you could do on the Black Canyon course a week from now, right? Is different than probably what you were able to do last year at Black Canyon, right? So there's just all these variables and things are changing. Developing that monitor, I think experience goes a long way in knowing when you're pushing too much or not enough or kind of right where you should be. I break it up similarly. I try to break it down. I just do it aid station to aid station, and
sure.
I don't look at my watch really at all during a race. I might glance at it when I take a split at an aid station to see, average 6:45 pace that last section. That's good, whatever.
Sure.
But there's too much. You can't. So I just go aid station to aid station, focus on that. I try not to take much from the data. I try not to pay much attention while I'm in the moment because you can convince yourself of a lot of things when you have hard data that maybe you shouldn't be convincing yourself of, like that was too fast, or man, I should have felt better running that pace or whatever. Whereas if you don't have the data, I think it's still a challenge, but a little bit easier to convince yourself of possibilities that are promising.
Great way of putting it. And yeah, I don't know how to describe it either. It's the same thing you're talking about. I always tell people it's like this human algorithm you have when you're a field-based runner, and I'm the same way. The pace means nothing. None of it means anything. And even if you are someone that follows metrics, just staying below aerobic threshold is not the answer, right? Because if you can't keep up with your fluids at that pace, then it's off fuel. It's useless. Yep. Yep. So it's like, I feel like those athletes that have been in the sport, yourself, myself, others, like we just gain these experiences and it's all going on in real time. How fast can I be going here and keeping up with this? And it just takes, when I put on my coaching hat, it's something you can't just tell someone, hey, this is what you got to do. People want to know, how many bottles do I have to drink an hour? How many this? How many that? But the reality is it's changing from the start of the race to the end. Temperatures change. Everything is changing. So another big kudos. You got the experience on your side. Your human algorithm is going to be working overdrive to get you to the finish line. I love it.
For sure.
Cool. And are you coming down with crew? You going to have a pacer, anything like that?
No pacer lined up, but yeah, got some folks coming down from Flagstaff. My wife, a couple friends, so they'll have a good day out in the Arizona desert, I'm sure. That's a great thing about crewing. It's like I do well, I don't do well. They still have a nice time.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm stoked to be there. I'm not working. I'm not running. I'm just here to have fun this year. So I'm.
You should spectate. That's great.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spectate. Cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Cool, Eric. We're going to hop into the 10-question fast-paced fartlek round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1. What sneakers will you be wearing at the Black Canyon 100K?
TBD based on conditions, but Hoka's probably the speed goat 5.
Nice. I wore the 4 last year. They did me well.
Yeah.
First ultra marathon and when?
2011 Minnesota Voyager 50 mile, which
A
was
classic.
in July. And fun fact that was where Scott Jurek set a course record early in his career. That's why I knew about the race. But that was the first one.
Cool. That is a classic. All right, I think you're going to like this one, and you're going to know it's coming. You get to pick the walkout song at Mayer High School. What song is coming over those speakers when the gun goes off?
Oh, man. I don't listen to like pump up music, so it's all pretty like mellow. So it'd probably be some song by like Bon Iver or something.
All right, I'll take it. Okay, you get the choice. You know that, and you've lived through it. You know we either get very hot years or very wet years, which sometimes changes the course. If you had to choose, would you prefer a very hot year or a very wet year?
I'd say hot year so that we could run the original course. If it's wet, we probably got to reroute. It's not as fun.
For sure. All right, guilty pleasure. You're in the supermarket. What in the supermarket is a guilty pleasure that always ends up in your grocery cart?
Mother Road Tower Station.
That is a good one.
It's a beer for those that don't know.
It is a very delicious beer for those that don't know. Brewed in Flagstaff.
That's right.
First word that comes to mind when I say Black Canyon 100K.
Fast.
I've heard that twice now. It is
Yeah.
a fast course. Some people say it's technical. I don't think it's so technical. Race day superstitions. What do you got?
Ooh, I don't think I have any, Scott.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Can't think of anything.
You got nothing? All right, if
Yeah.
we get one of those sunny days, is Eric Senseman shades or no shades?
Shades.
Gotta go shades. Gotta go shades. All right, how about any secret weapons that you have for the second half of the race?
Ooh, that's a. You don't want to give away secrets about the second half. You know that, Scott.
I know that.
Secrets. I hope you're tough because it's a tough second half.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. All right, last question. Putting you on the spot. What place are you finishing the Black Canyon 100K?
Conjecture to finish things off. I like it. Well, I've finished 3 times and I've always finished top 3. So I'm going to say top 3.
All right, we'll take it. Eric Senseman, we will see you at Black Canyon.
Thanks, Scott. Looking forward to it.
Thank you for coming on.